Grab your popcorn and lock in, because Caitlin Clark just walked into Portland and completely dismantled the Fire with an extraordinary 26-point masterclass that has sent shockwaves through the entire NBA landscape. Pulling up from distances that had the entire arena standing before the ball even left her fingertips, Clark put on a show for the ages, delivering thread-the-needle dimes through heavy defensive traffic and dissecting coverage with surgical precision. But before we break down every single play of this dominant 112-98 victory, we have to address the absolute elephant in the room that every basketball fan is talking about. The WNBA official rankings recently listed Caitlin Clark as the 11th best guard in this league. 11th. Let that sink in for a moment. The very player who just dropped her 4th career triple-double, the player who just became the absolute fastest in WNBA history to hit 1,500 career points and 500 career assists, doing it in an astonishing 78 games, was ranked 11th. We are all waiting with genuine curiosity to figure out what magical spells the 10 guards ranked ahead of her are performing every night. Because from where we are standing, nobody in professional women's basketball is operating on the level Caitlin Clark is right now, and it isn't particularly close. Let's dive straight into the historic box score that permanently shatters those official ranking narratives. Clark put up 26 points, grabbed 10 rebounds, and dished out 10 assists, officially securing her 4th career triple-double. Reaching 1,500 career points and 500 career assists simultaneously in just 78 games is a milestone that many legendary players take entire careers to accomplish. Yet Clark shattered it while managing selective minute restrictions during portions of her 3rd season. From the opening tip-off, Portland came in with a defensive scheme specifically designed to take away her perimeter looks. They sagged off, packed the paint, and dared her to beat them from distance. Clark accepted the challenge and buried 4 out of 7 from beyond the arc. There is simply no version of sagging off Caitlin Clark that works when she is reading the floor with this level of spatial awareness. While the scoring numbers steal the headlines, her passing vision tonight was a pure basketball masterpiece. Clark logged 10 assists without a single possession feeling forced or manufactured. She was processing Portland's defensive rotations 2 steps ahead, delivering passes before cutters even reached their spots. On one transition play, she dropped a behind-the-back dime to a driving teammate so fast that broadcast producers had to run the replay 3 separate times just to capture the full picture of her execution. Later in the half-court, she fired a skip pass that split 2 closing defenders, hitting the shooter's hands in perfect rhythm, and we cannot ignore her work on the boards. 10 rebounds from the point guard position. Clark was active on the glass all night long, tracking defensive rebounds and pushing the tempo instantly. 10 rebounds from a guard proves she wasn't just playing her position. She was controlling every square foot of the hardwood simultaneously. Alongside Clark's historic night, Kelsey Mitchell delivered a performance that was equally lethal. Mitchell dropped 26 points with the casual, cold-blooded efficiency that has defined her entire 2026 campaign. But the most significant milestone came when she buried her 749th career three-pointer, officially passing Hall of Famer Tina Thompson to move into 6th place on the WNBA all-time three-point list. Moving into 6th all-time while actively dominating in a mid-season regular game shows the legendary trajectory Mitchell is on. Every time Portland attempted to blitz or double-team Clark 30 feet from the rim, Mitchell was catching in rhythm and releasing before closeouts could even arrive. She was also an automatic 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Clark and Mitchell combined for 52 points tonight and have now generated over 110 combined points across Indiana's last 2 games alone. That isn't just a backcourt. That is an unsolvable problem for every defensive coordinator on the WNBA schedule. While the perimeter stars put on a shooting display, Aliyah Boston served as the unstoppable interior anchor that kept everything connected. Boston stuffed the stat sheet with 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists, finishing just 1 single rebound shy of a triple-double of her own. In a game where Clark made history and Mitchell passed a legend, Boston's complete contribution was the glue holding Indiana's scheme together. Recording 6 assists from the center position meant Boston was not merely catching and finishing down low. She was reading post-double teams, executing high-low passes, and kicking out to open shooters the moment Portland collapsed inside. Her 9 rebounds limited Portland's second-chance opportunities, while her efficient touch inside prevented Portland from fully loading up on the perimeter. Boston wasn't just a supporting headline, she was the fundamental reason those headlines were possible. The Fever's balanced bench and role players continued to elevate this roster to contender status. Sophie Cunningham poured in 13 points and added 3 assists, marking her 4th consecutive game, contributing in double figures. Cunningham's floor spacing stretched Portland's defense to its breaking point, opening up wide driving lanes for Clark and Mitchell. Defensively, Cunningham played like a free safety, reading passing lanes, creating turnovers, and taking the ball coast to coast for easy transition finishes. Having 6 Indiana players score in double digits demonstrates what this team has become in August 2026. This is no longer an offense reliant on one individual to carry the load. It is a synchronized unit where 5th and 6th options consistently punish professional defenses. Balanced execution like this happens when star playmaking elevates everyone on the floor. The big picture numbers tell an incredible story of growth and momentum. The Indiana Fever have now secured 5 consecutive victories, pushing their overall record to 19-10. Across this winning streak, the Fever offense is averaging over 110 points per game, operating as the most explosive offensive machine in the league. A team that opened the 2026 season weathering media noise, coaching adjustments, phantom whistles, and rotational questions has transformed into the single hottest team in professional basketball heading into August. Portland, a squad packed with high-end talent, could find 0 answers in the second half because every time they mounted a run, Indiana answered with a different threat from a different spot on the floor. When you look back at the WNBA ranking that placed Caitlin Clark at number 11 among guards, tonight's box score stands as the ultimate counter-argument. You cannot claim a player is the 11th best guard in the league when she is actively breaking all-time records for speed to 1,500 points and 500 assists, dropping triple-doubles at will, and leading her team to 5 straight wins over elite competition. Numbers, efficiency, and winning outcomes do not lie. The media narratives and subjective ranking panels can push whatever lists they want, but the scoreboard will continue to expose those rankings night after night. Clark's game isn't just about individual stats. It's about elevating an entire franchise into championship contention. As the regular season marches toward the playoffs, Indiana is peaking at the exact right moment. The chemistry between Clark, Mitchell, Boston, and Cunningham has reached an all-time high, with ball movement flowing effortlessly and defensive communication locking down opponents in crunch time. Teams across the league are realizing that preparing for Indiana requires stopping an elite, multifaceted attack that can hurt you from the logo, in the post, or on transition breaks. The rest of the WNBA has been officially warned, not by media hype, but by undeniable tape and historical box scores. Indiana's 112-98 statement win over Portland proves that this team is built for deep playoff basketball. Caitlin Clark continues to redefine expectations, break historic records, and silence every critic who attempts to diminish her impact. What are your personal thoughts on Clark's 4th career triple-double? Do you think the WNBA's 11th guard ranking looks completely foolish after tonight's performance? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Hit that like button right now, and make sure to subscribe to Women Hoops with notifications turned on so you never miss a single breakdown. Thank you for watching, stay sharp, and we'll see you in the next one.